Imagine your life as a lush garden, and you are its sole gardener. Every sunrise hands you new seeds, your choices, your efforts, your aspirations. What are you planting today? Are you sowing dreams of greatness or seeds of regret? Remember, growth doesn't happen by accident. It requires daily care, deliberate intent, and unshakable passion. Start with clarity. Decide what you really want, not what others expect nor what society dictates as successful. When you know your true destination, decisions become simple. You'll no longer chase every flashy distraction or broad approval. Instead, you'll see clearly which steps cultivate your vision and which pull you off course. To gain clear vision, look inward. Discard outside noise, family pressure, cultural norms, fleeting trends, and ask yourself, what truly fulfills me? What sparks my deepest purpose? With that inner compass in hand, each choice aligns with your genuine path and distractions lose their power. A clear goal also dissolves stress. Uncertainty breeds anxiety. When you're unsure, every fork in the road feels fraught. But with a defined aim, doubt fades. Because you trust the journey you've chosen. You no longer compare yourself to others or fear falling behind. You focus solely on your own steady stride. Next, master your mindset. Your thoughts can be either your greatest ally or your fiercest enemy. Feed your mind negativity and it will spiral into doubt and fear. But nurture it with confidence and resilience and it becomes an unstoppable force. Start by monitoring your inner dialogue. Replace self-limiting beliefs, I can't, it's too hard, with affirmations of growth. Setbacks teach me, I thrive on challenge. Use visualization as a mental warm-up. Picture yourself succeeding, handling obstacles with composure, achieving every goal you aim for. Your brain doesn't distinguish between vivid imagination and reality, so rehearse victory daily until it feels inevitable. Embrace emotional toughness. When hardship strikes, don't recoil. Ask yourself, what lessons lie here? How can I grow from this? Each challenge polishes your resilience. Surround yourself with supportive influences. Read enriching books. Tune into thought-provoking podcasts. And engage with people who elevate your thinking. Cultivate gratitude. A thankful mind is a buoyant mind. Shifting your focus to what you already have builds strength to face what you lack. Remember, discomfort is where growth lives. Lean into situations that scare you. Speak up when it's hard. Take risks when safety beckons. Each brave step expands your capacity. Habits are the bricks of your reality. Daily routines, small or grand, stack up over time, shaping either a fortress of success or a cage of limitation. Inspect your habits. Do they advance your dreams or entrench you in routines that no longer serve? Choose one empowering habit, early rising, focused reading, mindful reflection, and cement it through consistency. Then add another. Over weeks, these deliberate acts compound into monumental change. Anchor your journey with purpose, more than personal gain. True motivation comes from a mission beyond yourself. Ask, what impact will my life leave? How can my efforts resonate on a larger scale? Let that higher calling fuel your commitment, especially when the road grows steep. Every day offers a fresh canvas. In your hands lie the brush and palette. Paint with intention, weed out distractions, water your goals with disciplined action. Each sunrise is another chance to sketch a masterpiece only you can create. So, what will you plant today? What extraordinary life story are you ready to cultivate? Now ignite your inner inferno. Plant tinkling alone isn't enough. You must light a blaze beneath your ambitions. Fire your spirit with relentless urgency. Crush the inertia that roots you to mediocrity. Recall every moment you hesitated. Each second spent in doubt stings more than any failure. Let those regrets become fuel. Channel the raw heat of past disappointments into unquenchable drive. Dominate your environment. A passive gardener watches weeds overrun the beds. A master takes a torch to the untamed undergrowth. In the same way, identify the weeds in your life, limiting beliefs, draining commitments, distracting temptations, and incinerate them without remorse. Do not negotiate with mediocrity. Eradicate it at its roots. Raise the stakes. When the garden's harvest tastes bland, a gardener spices the soil with rare nutrients. You too must augment your growth with bold challenges. Publicly declare a high-stakes goal. Launch a podcast by next month. Speak at a live event within 6 weeks, or hit a revenue target that scares you. The fear of public embarrassment or failure adds richness to your soil, forcing you to grow stronger, faster. Master the psychology of contrast. In nature, vibrant blossoms pop against dark, fertile earth. In storytelling, bright triumphs shine through the shadow of struggle. Frame your journey so the world sees your victories in high definition. Spotlight the valleys you climbed and the scars you earned. Let audiences taste the bitterness before celebrating the sweetness. This contrast captivates attention and cements your authority. Make your narrative unforgettable. Use surgical focus. A gardener may cultivate an entire orchard, but the finest fruit often comes from a single tree, tended with obsessive care. Pick one area, your signature skill or message, and concentrate every resource on it. Limit multitasking. Schedule unbreakable blocks of harvest time in your calendar where nothing else exists. No emails, no meetings, no social scrolling. In these windows, produce your masterpiece. When you put maximum energy into one precise endeavor, it blossoms beyond expectation. Leverage momentum. There's a law of motion in both physics and psychology. An object in motion stays in motion. After every small win, publishing a post, closing a sale, completing a workout, immediately set the next action. Don't rest on laurels. Convert each success into the launch pad for the next. Exploit urgency and scarcity. A garden bed threatened by an impending frost demands immediate care. Similarly, create deadlines and limited time offers to compel yourself and your audience to act now. Announce a 2-day only free coaching slot, or publish a video at an unexpected hour to catch early risers by surprise. The ticking clock ignites adrenaline, sharpening focus and engagement. Unleash emotional triggers. Stories of betrayal, redemption, triumph against odds, and dark inner battles resonate deep in the human psyche. Weave elements of betrayal, times when you felt abandoned or undermined, then reveal how you broke free. Frame your lessons as a fight for survival in a hostile world. This drama grips attention and forges a visceral bond. Demand allegiance. A gardener invites visitors into the sanctuary. A ruler commands subjects from the throne. Speak with the voice of authority. If you're not willing to burn your old self to the ground, step aside. Ask your audience to pledge themselves. Type "I choose growth" in the comments if you refuse to drift through life. This call to action forges community and amplifies commitment. Escalate to war footing. Ordinary growth is passive. Victorious growth is aggressive. Recruit allies, collaborators, coaches, or masterminds, and wage campaign-style attacks on your biggest obstacles. Break them down with strategic precision. If procrastination is your nemesis, install accountability software. If self-doubt paralyzes you, record video testimonials of past wins. Treat each enemy with a tailored weapon. Now look around. The garden of your life lies before you, fertile and waiting, but also littered with challenges that demand conquest. Stride forward, torch in hand, machete on your belt, heart roaring like wildfire. Plant your seeds, then burn the ground with passion and purpose. Only then will you cultivate a legacy so powerful that generations will speak of your harvest. The question remains, will you settle for a tepid garden, or will you seize the flames and become the legend you were born to be? Beyond these foundational practices lies the art of tending the soil itself. Just as the garden's fertility depends on rich, well-nourished earth, your internal landscape, your habits, beliefs, and environment must be enriched continuously. Begin by composting old failures and regrets. Reflect on past missteps not as shameful stains, but as nutrient-rich matter that, once broken down, fertilizes your growth. Journal each setback, extract the lesson, and then mentally turn it into compost that enriches your soil rather than chokes your roots. Prune relentlessly. In gardening, pruning removes dead or overgrown branches so that energy can flow to the healthiest limbs. In life, pruning means letting go of relationships, activities, or thought patterns that drain your vitality. Identify one area where you're overcommitting your energy, perhaps social media scrolling, a toxic friendship, or a limiting self-belief. Cut it back. Notice how freeing it feels when you remove the clutter that was blocking your brightest buds. Rotate your crops. In agriculture, crop rotation prevents nutrient depletion and pest buildup. In personal development, rotation means varying your focus areas to prevent burnout and maintain balance. Spend a season dedicating energy to physical health. Exercise routines, nutrition discipline. Next season, shift toward intellectual growth, reading, skill building, creative projects. Then focus on spiritual or emotional nourishment, meditation, community service, reflective retreats. By rotating your focus, you keep your mind and body resilient, adaptable, and eager for the next growth cycle. Foster biodiversity in your support network. A thriving garden features diverse species, flowers, herbs, vegetables, all supporting each other's ecosystems. Likewise, curate a community of mentors, peers, and friends who each contribute unique strengths. One offers strategic business insight, another provides creative inspiration, another offers compassionate counsel. Seek out voices and connections that challenge, support, and enrich different facets of your life. This diverse network acts as a living web, catching you when you falter and propelling you toward higher ground. Implement seasonal harvest rituals. Recognize when a project, goal, or phase has reached maturity, and it's time to reap the rewards. Cultivate the habit of regular reflection. At quarter's end, assess your victories and gather the bounty, insights, achievements, lessons learned. Celebrate these harvests publicly. Share progress on social media. Write a blog post or simply journal to honor your achievement. Ritualizing your successes not only reinforces positive momentum, but also signals to your subconscious that each effort matters. Guard against the elements. Just as gardens face droughts, storms, and pests, your journey will encounter dry spells of motivation, emotional tempests, and external attacks on your confidence. Develop protective structures, routines that anchor you on lean days, accountability partners who weather the storms with you, affirmations and visual cues that remind you of your resilience. Prepare an internal greenhouse, a mental sanctuary built from empowering habits, supportive relationships, and a clear vision that shields your growth during turbulent times. Plan for legacy planting. A gardener often plants trees whose shade they'll never sit under. Think beyond your immediate goals to the legacy you wish to leave. Mentor someone younger. Launch a project that benefits your community, or document your journey in writing or video to guide others who will follow. By investing in seeds you may never personally harvest, you ensure that your garden's impact endures across generations, deepening the ripples of your influence. Remember, a master gardener respects both macro and micro rhythms, the grand arc of seasons as well as the daily cycles of sunlight and dew. In life, honor both long-term timelines and the power of consistent daily rituals. Never lose sight of the horizon, but live with presence in each hour's moment. So what will you sow next? The soil of your soul awaits your intention. Grab your tools, clarity, mindset, habits, purpose, and prepare to cultivate a legacy that flourishes long after the seeds have been sown. Continue forging your path. Channel the unbreakable discipline of ancient warriors and the cunning strategy of master tacticians. Each morning as dawn breaks, recite your mission statement aloud. Declare the battlefield on which you'll conquer the day. Be ruthless with time. Guard it like a war chest. Invest it only in endeavors that multiply your power. Call upon ritual. Warriors prepare for battle through sacred routines, rituals that prime their body, mind, and spirit. Craft your own pre-commencement sequence. Cold exposure to jolt your nervous system awake. 10 minutes of focused breath work to center your mind, decluttering your workspace to eliminate distractions, a brief review of your top 3 priorities. These rituals signal to your subconscious that the day's campaign has begun and that you are primed for victory. Engage in asymmetric warfare. When armies clash head-on, both suffer grave casualties. Instead, strike where the enemy least expects. In your quest for personal growth, identify overlooked leverage points, micro habits with outsized impact, strategic relationships forgotten by complacent peers, unconventional platforms where competition is weak. Exploit these blind spots ruthlessly, gaining ground while rivals remain mired in direct confrontation. Adopt the mindset of an apex predator. Top hunters don't chase every creature. They move silently, patiently, waiting for the perfect opportunity. Cultivate patience and precision. Gather intel, data on your performance, feedback from mentors, analytics on your content. Then, when conditions align, strike swiftly and decisively. Launch your new initiative. Release your flagship product. Deliver your most compelling speech. Automate your operating systems. Just as a gardener uses irrigation channels and weather forecasts to automate growth, you must engineer systems that run with minimal friction. Automate repetitive tasks, email filtering, payment processing, data entry, freeing your focus for high-value activities. Use technology to track progress, send yourself accountability nudges, and visualize your momentum. The more you systematize, the less energy wasted on menial tasks. Train for adversity. Planting in fertile soil is easy. Thriving in rocky terrain builds character. Seek out challenges that push you beyond your comfort zone. Learn a language through immersion. Enter a high-stakes competition. Volunteer for roles where failure carries real consequences. Each grueling trial forges muscles of resilience and gives you stories of triumph to wield when doubt looms. Exploit the power of narrative loops. Great stories pull you forward with unanswered questions. Frame your own journey with serialized intrigue. Tease upcoming projects. Reveal partial results. Solicit audience input on next moves. Make them anticipate each installment. This engagement loop not only builds community, but ingrains your message deeper through suspense and curiosity. Enforce accountability with extreme ownership. When setbacks occur, resist the urge to deflect blame. Instead, own every outcome, positive or negative. This radical responsibility accelerates learning and signals to your subconscious that you control the levers of change. Publicly declare your ownership. Share your scorecards. Admit your mistakes and chart your corrections in real time. Amplify your signal. A solitary trumpet in a quiet field carries farther than an orchestra in a noisy city. Hone your unique voice, your distinct perspective, your signature language, your personal brand. Broadcast it through channels that align with your ideal audience. Be consistent, be bold, and let your message reverberate until it echoes across landscapes. Cultivate a culture of excellence in every micro-interaction. Top gardens thrive because every plant, no matter how small, receives care. Similarly, treat every task, interaction, and detail as an opportunity to showcase your highest standards. Reply to a single comment with thoughtfulness. Refine a slide in your presentation until it gleams. Coach a peer with the same intensity you'd bring to your grandest project. Embrace the paradox of relentless expansion and ruthless pruning. Growth demands both, a never-ending pursuit of new heights, coupled with the uncompromising removal of what no longer serves. Cycle between exploration and elimination until your garden, your life, becomes a living testament to power, purpose, and precision. So stand up now. The garden waits, the fires burn, and the battlefield calls. Advance with courage. Sharpen your blade of intent, and let every seed you plant today grow into an anthem of your unstoppable legacy. Cast aside any hesitations now. The soil trembles as you approach, ready to respond to your touch. With every seed you plant, you etch your legacy into the fabric of time. With every ember you ignite, you set ablaze the doubts that once held you captive. Step into the arena of your own creation. Wield your will as both scalpel and sword, and carve a destiny that legends will recount. Let your garden roar. And yet, this is only the beginning. Surround your garden with the towering walls of relentless improvement. For every metric you track, growth in followers, increase in revenue, advancement in skill, create an unbreakable feedback loop. Analyze the data ruthlessly. If a tactic fails, acknowledge it swiftly. Adjust your strategy and launch again. If a growth hack pays dividends, double down until it no longer yields returns. Then pivot. Forge alliances with domain emperors. Just as noble houses once sealed power through marriages and pacts, partner with influencers, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders in your sector. Co-create content, cross-pollinate audiences, and forge deals that amplify your reach. Each alliance acts as a bridge, injecting your garden with new life force and expanding your domain. Harness the power of technological sentinels. Deploy AI-driven tools to monitor social sentiment, predict trending topics, and optimize your content cadence. Let machine intelligence serve as your lookout towers, alerting you to emerging threats and opportunities. With these sentinels standing guard, nothing slips through the cracks. Activate your guerrilla marketing squads. Mobilize supporters, loyal followers, beta testers, early adopters to champion your cause silently but powerfully. Equip them with distinctive hashtags, branded visuals, and rallying cries. Then let them spread your message organically across forums and social channels. This grassroots mobilization lends authenticity and exponential reach. Plan your next major bloom. Identify a monumental project, an ebook, the signature course, a flagship event that will serve as the crowning flower in your garden. Map out every stage: pre-launch hype, launch day spectacle, post-launch follow-up, recruit a core launch team, set transparent goals, and synchronize every channel to peak simultaneously. And finally, never forget the quiet power of reflection amidst the chaos of conquest. Pause periodically, perhaps at the halfway marker of each year, to retreat into strategic hibernation. In that sacred space, evaluate every triumph and every scar. Distill the purest insights, and replant the garden according to the refined blueprint you've unearthed. This cycle: plant, prune, ignite, analyze, ally, deploy, repeat it without mercy. It is the algorithm of extraordinary success. And as you execute it day after ruthless day, know this: you're not merely tending a garden, you're engineering an empire, one seed at a time.